I always think that architecture is a phenomenal exercise because it's like if you were translating something that hasn't been written, something which sort of manifests and elevates those aspirations. I think the single most important idea is to try to reinterpret somehow the relationship between the public and the private and add more to the public realm than just simply a building, that it is all about its own interiority and its whole single-minded function. The important contribution on this building is that the building is the solution for a very specific site, that it is a remarkable site in the sense that, could become the new front road. You can always see the water, but it has this sort of capacity of creating a sense of a downtown and a more urban and interrelated life around it. People understand nowadays what that means. That means the opportunity to walk. It means the opportunity to meet people and do things. Basically, enjoying a certain collective sense of life. A building is something that needs to perform. And that performance and the notion of what the performance entails is something that I consider to be by far larger than just a simple fulfillment of a brief. The building's full of narratives that I think are going to be very unique and very characteristic. This sort of notion that you are into a semi-protected space, but with enormous terraces. We are extremely pleased with the solution. You have a phenomenal view to the water, but you see the city too. The river, it sort of comes into the building through this waterfall that filters what happens inside of that space, which is public, but yet sort of kind of separated by the curtain of water. And the two towers actually have clear views, but functionally what the piece does is also makes the whole building work together as one entity. The views through this lot and the experience that you have when you take these elevators and go up to the club, it will be very special.
The best residential areas are those which eventually become almost like a community. I thought it was best if we could do a fantastic club to act as the focal point, the social center, if you will. We have everything that you need. Restaurants, there's a spa, there's a bar, there's a wine aspect, and of course a cigar facility. There's some wonderful old-fashioned lifestyle elements which have disappeared, which you can bring back again. I think good taste doesn't mean that it has to be very opulent. That's almost off-putting, frankly. You can see that the common thread would be simple is better. What that bridge has made possible is that you can create an incredible amount of space to fit in all these club requirements. This is, 35,000 square feet. Being in suspension from a vantage point of where that is, I think the idea itself is amazing.
It was very important for us to create a very unique site, something which relates to the Miami River and something which creates a really strong identity along the riverfront. So it was important for us to animate the space, create a park-like feeling in this, very lush urban environment of Miami. One important plant specimen is the palm tree, and it's something which forms the character of our site. We took these plant species like the saw palmettos, the sea grapes, and the dune grasses. So it's like the whole story basically of everything coming from the sea and basically put on top of this amenity level and the Sky Villa Gardens. And that forms, the character of these levels.
Miami has this quality of being particularly effervescent in a way. It has its own dynamic. This kind of amazing reality is not about just your own apartment, but some possibility of communal life in which you're engaged with the rest of your neighbors. The building has this idea that there is a second urban plane that is significantly elevated over the street with absolutely spectacular views into itself, but also to the outdoors. You don't get this thing by being alone in an island or in a capsule. I think that's what the building celebrates.